technical interview is unlike any other job interview. It's a tough and rigorous process that tests your coding skills, problem-solving abilities, and personality. But it can get a lot easier if you're well prepared and know what to expect. Join Interview Kickstart's co-founder, Ryan Vallis, in a 1-hour interactive webinar on how you can crack technical interviews at top tech firms the Interview Kickstart way. We have helped over 5,000 engineers receive life-changing offers from FAANG and Tier 1 tech companies in the US. Your dream company is just one step away. Sign up for a webinar today.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hey, hi. Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, great. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you.
Great. So just to confirm, so this is mock interview for the front-end domain?
Right.
Okay, great. Is this the first time we did this? Let me to confirm.
Yeah, I'm doing my first mock interview
Great.
on IT. Yeah.
Okay. So for the front end, usually we need to do HTML, CSS, JavaScript all together and be able to preview the page. So in that case, the codebug may not help on those. So usually what people do is they are using some JS Fido or some online toolings that they can write HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then also preview.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so in
so
that case, you can choose any tools you have, and then you can share your screen so I can see that.
okay. Can we use Code Sandbox?
What
Or
kind of sandbox? A URL so I can open or?
I'll share codesandbox.io.
Okay. Yeah, I never used it before. So if I go over there, I can see what you're doing, or?
No, I need to share my screen for that.
Oh, okay.
So, vanilla. So actually, I had a few questions also, like in general questions. So should we
Yeah, we
go?
can either discuss at the beginning or we can discuss at the end, whichever you like.
Yeah. So if we can, yeah, at the beginning, if we can have.
Okay, sure, yeah.
Yeah. So I, in general, because whenever I was going through the IK process and so it is mostly oriented with the back end. So I want to understand, like for the front end position. So I am a front end engineer right from the beginning of my career, mostly worked with JavaScript and different frameworks and HTML, CSS. So I want to understand, like at Facebook, Google, or Microsoft, or all these big companies. So are there like specific roles, or are there like all the engineers are generic engineers, and which sometimes works on front end, sometimes work on back end, or are there specific? Because I'm kind of interested in specific front end, which generally don't do back end at all. So first thing is I want to understand like what kind of positions are there at all the let's say Google and Facebook, and if there is like specific. So I try to research about it, and like I read about Facebook as generalist engineer and UI engineers. So how is their interview process generally different in terms of number of rounds, and each round like different depending on data structure, algorithms, system design, and what specific areas about the front end are generally kind of expected from a candidate like me, who is having around 10 years of experience as a front end engineer.
Okay, so definitely there are front-end roles for both company. So your responsibility will building front-end applications. So you will spend 99% of time doing front-end. We have roles for front-end, for back-end, for machine learning, for research, for testing. So we have each domain have a full-time roles. So definitely there will be a lot of front-end engineering roles. That's primary doing front-end stuff for sure. Interview-wise for Google, Facebook, it's the same as backend general software engineer, 5 rounds, right? Facebook sometimes 5 rounds, sometimes 4 rounds. It depends. Basically, 1 behavior rounds, 2 like a coding data structure algorithm generic rounds, and then there will be 1 or 2 rounds for domain front end specific.
Okay, so what is generally, so yeah, I'm very interested in the last part in like domain specific. So whenever I go through the system design things, so they are generally about infrastructures or
Mhm.
mostly back end. So in case of front end, what is covered in those interviews, which are domain specific interviews?
Yeah, in the material or IK program or whatever online resource, it's mostly backend scalable system. But for the
Mhm.
front end, they will ask you everything on the UI. Right? For
Okay.
example, design a Uber. You don't need to talk about anything backend. Just design a Uber UI in a UI engineering wise. They probably ask you the same problem as backend or as anything scalable system, but all of your focus will be on the UI side.
Okay, so when you say focus on UI side, that will mean I so if let's take some example, we are designing an Uber, the web application. So in that case, will be like how we will be dividing our code base, which components will be writing, which API calls will be making,
Yep,
and
something like that.
which technologies will be using. Or
Yeah.
okay,
You just assume all the API from the backend are available. You're just using them to build the UI.
got it, got it. Okay. And but the first three rounds, which you said, like first telephonic and the two coding rounds, they are just same as the generalist software engineers. Is that right?
Yes,
Okay. And they generally cover the data structure and algorithm problems only.
yes. Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Got it. And the part of the system design, so there are like two parts: high level design, low level design. Some people call it like basically high level is the design of a overall flow, and low level is where you are designing classes and APIs. So should I be focusing on that part, like basically? And all the questions I see are mostly like design a chess game or write the classes, design a air flight system, air basically flight booking system, design classes for that. So are they expected for a front end role, or it will be purely UI only?
Only UI. You don't need to know backend.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Mhm. Yeah, you don't
Okay.
need to worry because the IK system design, everything is backend. It seems like scary, but if you are doing interview for the Google, Facebook, when they ask you some question for the UI, you will feel very comfortable because that's what you do every day. You don't need to learn anything new.
Mm. Yeah, that was a big doubt for me because whenever any website or any for preparation I go, it's all back end. Very few resources are for the front end. So
Right?
I feel like yeah, it's the same thing for back end or not.
Yeah, no worry. They will ask you everything front end. Very comfortable.
Mhm. See. And is the like the titles which are given, are they same as a software engineer, or they call something like UI engineer
Just
or
a
something?
software engineer.
Okay, it's the software engineer. Mhm.
It's the same as backend. Backend, front end are the same as software engineer. There's no difference in terms of pay level or compensation. Everything, same thing.
Got it. Got it. Okay, thanks. Yeah, it was really helpful to know that.
Okay, great. Now I type you the question already in the Zoom chat.
Okay, yeah,
It
let
is
me
a Google Doc link. So I can explain a little bit real quick. So as we
okay.
can see, there is a table over there, right? It's like a
Mhm.
3 by 3 grid. So we don't need to think about scalability. Just make it work, that's fine. So we don't need to think about how to do 4x4 or 5x5. We don't need to think about anything scalability. Just get it to work. That's the priority. So a 3x3 table over there, one of the box has a different background color, like a pink, right?
Yeah.
Now we have 4 controls on the right-hand side, left, top, right, bottom. So we don't need to build anything that looks the same. We can just have 4 buttons for 4 areas, should be fine. So when you click on top, the pink box will move up. When you click on right, the pink box will move right. So basically, it's more like a game control.
Yeah, I see.
We are clicking on the arrows to navigate this pink box around. If
Okay.
if it is going to out of bound, then we can just do nothing over there. For example, in the current state, if I click on left, there's no place to move, then we just do nothing. Yeah.
Okay, so we don't need to handle like it goes to the
No.
right.
If you cannot move left, then just click on left, nothing happens. That's fine.
I see.
Mhm. Yeah, just
Okay,
get it to work should be fine. So we don't need to think about scalability.
got it.
All
So,
right.
do you want me to share my screen?
Yes,
Well,
yes. So, yeah.
okay, just a minute. And we are doing it in just vanilla JavaScript, right? No.
Yes. Yeah, you can use any libraries, but vanilla should be fine. Whatever library you like to use. But in the real interview, mostly it's a vanilla JavaScript. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah. Let me create another one. Static. Okay, fine. Okay. And, okay. So the way I'm thinking is first we draw the boxes, basically the full grid, and then we have 4 buttons, left, right, top, bottom, and on the click of the buttons, we will um, basically update the state of our grid with the current state, and left, right, top, bottom will be one. The x and y coordinates will be plus minus one accordingly.
Mhm.
So, and then I will be kind of redrawing it on every click so that uh, we just update the selected border. So what I meant by that is, let's just, yeah, I'll quickly just set up the 2 files here, or maybe we just use JS Fiddle. Mm. Okay, so as you said, we are not too much caring about variable number of grids, so
No,
just yeah, hard coding as of now, which will be like mm, yeah, and then scroll down. Not, Auto close somehow and work. Now I'll move to the JavaScript part where we'll handle uh, the on-click handler. So we can go multiple ways. We can just add one event listener, or we can add all the listeners. So we can have our okay. Okay. Mm. Must we write render, which will be so I'm trying to write a function which, given a state basically x and y position, it can just draw that state on the screen, and then I'll use it to uh, draw the state for different event handlers. So it has x and y is 0, so we may have some maybe we can store the coordinates as data, or maybe we can have the fastest will be have an ID with that, which is x comma y. So we can call it something like box x comma y. Then same, so x will be same. Basically row column, and this. Okay. One. So I would say all boxes selector boxes dot. So I just need some reference for this API. So what I'm trying to do is first select all the boxes and set their color to be yellow, which is unselected, and then select the box which is in the state from the state, and then make its color to be pink. So I want to iterate over this all boxes. It must be maybe which box box dot style dot is yellow. Selected boxes So if I say with x yep, it's working. So we'll just say the state and then okay, it is the left. So if state dot x minus 1 is greater than equal to 0, then I would say render with x comma x is will be state dot x minus 1 state dot y. We can optimize it a bit. Okay, maybe you try this later. Just copy paste this one first. Right is first one, which is x plus 1. So I say this top will be y, moving the y, which is decreasing the y. Bottom is increasing the y. Plus 1 is 0. We can put some left is basically you are moving, decreasing, increasing. Right, right. the state, which is basically this. Okay. Mm, mm, mm. Hmm. So x is equal plus 1. So render should be x should be 1 and state should be y. Then it should change. Hmm. 1 0 should say two things I think missing. One is we should update this global state, which is kind of say hmm, state dot x is equal to this. Putting the class. So, yeah, so I think we can actually remove the class and add the class instead of this. Ops dot. It's called add class, I think. Not class list dot add. Mm, Similarly, we do here also. Just update the state. Okay, X is X plus 1 and the state here also Y is this one. Okay, it's not adding anything. Box is not defined. First, let's do this one. Three, two, yeah, it's going up. Okay, left is moving with X. X is the row. Row is moving, so I think I've chosen X and Y as the reverse one. Let me fix this. Basically, this is column actually. So think Y left will move Y. So this will also move Y. So X. I think the basic version is working, but we can do a bit of optimizations and
Yeah. Okay.
mm, one thing I think is instead of adding listener on each button, we can add a listener on class, and the button may have the left right as data point. So yeah, instead of writing four functions, we can have one function, but yeah, the logic will still be that one function will have all the logic. Like if it is left, then do this,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then do this. So one is that. Another is yeah, maybe drawing this uh, grid itself. We may use better CSS for that. Maybe.
Okay. Sure. All of those are fine. So the basic version should be good. So maybe in the interview we don't need to get it too much fancy. In that case, we are all good. So for the remaining time, anything else you'd like to discuss? Or?
Yeah. So if we are like these kind of questions which we just did, where we are building some UI.
Uh-huh.
So in which round of interview will this be covered? If we talk
Domain specific.
uh, domain specific, okay.
It depends on company. If you only want to go to Facebook, Google, then they may not ask this type of question as many. But
Okay.
if you are going to any other companies, then they tend to ask this type of question a lot.
Okay. And should I try to solve always by vanilla JavaScript, or if I'm using like React, then I should say like let's do it in React.
Usually doing in pure JavaScript, they want to see your fundamentals.
Okay. Hmm. I see. Okay, yeah, that's all from my side. Yeah.
Okay, great, cool. Have a good day then. I will submit the feedback at the end.
Okay. Yep. Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.